Mhm.
You attended both an HBCU in one of the meccas of HBCU clusters, the AU Center. You
That's
attended a
right.
PWI's Temple and Harvard. In the black
Mhm.
college system, Spelman and Morehouse are sort of like our versions of the elite education or those Ivy League schools. Talk about your
Mhm.
HBCU experience and how it compares to your experiences at the other institutions.
So my HBCU experience, it was like freedom. Like I didn't have to worry about sexism. I didn't have to worry about racism. I could just be.
Mhm.
I didn't have to worry about people asking me like crazy questions like, do I wash my hair? Like, what do all black people
Can
think?
I
Like,
touch
it
it?
was such freedom. Like, I mean, it was the best 4 years of my life. If you are black and can go to a black college, go ahead and do it. You will be so free. It
100.
was amazing. Um, there was sisterhood, and I believe like not everybody is like me. Some people were people who acted like Whitley. I'm not like Whitley. If you can see,
It's
I
a
am a
different
bubbly
world.
personality. But I believe whatever you put out there, you attract, right? So, um, people who are similar to me, talk to me, but I talk to everybody, so, like, it doesn't matter. Um, but I was able to also hang out with people from Clark Atlanta, from Morehouse, from Morris Brown, go to, Emory, go to study to Georgia Tech, Georgia State, so it just was amazing. So, Spelman allowed me also to make strong connections with, the professors, and, I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world, like, it was top tier. Oh my god, it was top tier. Um, but at the same time, it was, expensive. But again, if you share your story and you're in the right places at the right time, I call it the money hall. I was in the Rockefeller Hall,
Mhm.
talking about I was working late and some lady came up to me and she was like, "Well, why were you working till 2 a.m.?" I said, "Look, Imma just be real with you. I wasn't trying to be no stripper, so I'm working 2 to 3 jobs," and she was just like, "Well, do you want a, scholarship?" And I wanted to say, "Hell yeah," and I was like, "Absolutely." And so, I didn't know who she was. She was actually the dean of the school, and so I became the first UPS scholar, in
Wow.
19 I think it was 1994 or 95, and so that's how I paid for my tuition. So all I had to do was, figure out my room and board.
Just for
So
being
I b
honest, you were just being
Yes.
honest, you know? She like, "What you doing?" You're like, "I just ain't trying to be no stripper, so if I gotta work, I gotta work." She was like, "I don't want you being no stripper. I'm finna give you a scholarship."
Right. I was like, "Let's do it."
That's dope.
So, so I just had to figure out, I would literally work jobs that were like waitressing or something like that so I could get free, food for every shift.
Mhm.
And then I'd also research for, professors to build my skill so that I could, go to graduate school in that. So I learned so much. It was amazing. And then when I went to Temple, it was like, okay, this is a little bit different. It's a public university. They're really loud in the library. Okay. They're not as close and they like fight against each other. I'd never seen like black people fight against each other. When
Mm,
I say fight against each other, like they're fighting for crumbs. Like I'm like,
yeah.
what's going on here?
Definitely
So
not
I
a
just was
HBCU experience.
Yeah, so I just was like, "Okay, Imma get out of here quicker than 2 years." So I did my, master's in 11 months. So that was really interesting. At Harvard, it was pretty good, but again, because the first person who approached me actually at Harvard was an older black man. I didn't know who he was. He happened to be a Morehouse graduate,
Oh, that's
and he
dope.
was faculty,
That's
and he
dope.
said he would look out for me. So I made my connections there with HBCU grads, but then also it was an amazing experience because you had international people and you were allowed to take classes at other schools. So my first class was actually at Harvard Law School. And then I also took some classes at Harvard Kennedy School. And then we had some business professors. So that was amazing, the access and the different people. I was scared at first because I thought, "Oh gosh, people are gonna be, like, really hoity-toity," but they're all
Mhm,
down to earth.
mhm,
It's just the undergraduates that act like that, but, it was, again, a great experience, but being in Boston, they're not as, warm as in the South.
mhm,
So, I was happy my program was only a year because there's nothing like an HBCU experience, the warmth.
mhm.
I had a great time at Harvard. The only difference is, yes, they have a lot of money, but, I was ready to go back home
Yeah.
to Atlanta. Yeah, so
Man, I thank you for sharing those experiences. Some poignant things that you pointed out. You went to Harvard, and the first person you met was a black man who was a graduate of Morehouse, the school right across the street from the one you graduated from in Atlanta at Spelman. That right there is a testament alone that even at the highest levels of education, some of the professors there are being educated at HBCUs. I mean, so to dismiss the quality of an HBCU education when some of our brightest are teaching at the highest, education levels in the country. I mean, I don't know how you can deny the power of a HBCU education on top of the life experiences that it gives you, that connection that it gave you just because you went to an HBCU. That man said, "I'm going to take care of you." You could have went to Clark or Morris Brown. He probably would have said the same thing. You
he
know,
sure would've,
it
'cause
did.
we looked out for each other, HBCU students at, the Ivy Leagues, we had a connection,
Mhm.
and so we also had our Black student unions. So it was interesting, the Black students who went to PWIs, they would always comment like, "Wow, I didn't know that, you guys" they would say, like, crazy stuff like, "I didn't know that you guys could be so smart at HBCUs. I didn't know it was like that." Like, it was like, "What
I
did you
think
think we do at our schools?"
right. It's a school just like yours. We got professors educated just like you. Probably a little bit more educated in some fronts. We just don't get the levels of
Right,
respect, but it's there. That's
right.
that's just dope. To be able to, I went to one HBCU and I only went to one college. I didn't go to multiple colleges, so I don't have that experience. And most people that go to college only go to one college. There are some
Mhm,
people that go into graduate school and go to a different school, but even those who go into graduate school a lot of times will go to the same college that they went to their undergrad to get their graduate degrees. So
mhm.
thank you for sharing that, the diversity experience that you made it real and hit home when you said Temple, they were all yelling in the lunchroom or whatever. That's totally different than what you I mean, at a HBCU it might be loud but we ain't yelling. It's loud just
Right, I
because
was
it's
like
fun energy in there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We're not
I'm like,
fighting
"We in
each
a
other.
library?"
In a
I'm like, "We in a
library?
library?"
Oh,
Yes,
do
I
that
was
at
like
HBCU, and somebody in that library that's older than you gonna cuss you.
I was just like, "Oh, is this how y'all do it at public PWIs?" Oh,
For real, like
I was
that's how we doing it.
confused.
Oh, okay. Y'all
Yes.
operate on a different set of rules over here.
I was
I
like,
couldn't get away
"Wow,
with this
okay."
at Spelman or
Yeah,
Tennessee
I was
State
just like
University, and we a party school.
right, right. And I do have to tell you, when I went to a reunion one year, for Black students at, Harvard, it was so interesting because the Black men said, and they said this really loud, they said, "I wish that we could brag about going to Harvard like the Morehouse men brag about going to Morehouse." And I thought that was so true because one thing that is interesting about going to not Morehouse, but Harvard that people don't speak about is that usually as a Harvard grad, Black people, we could speak about it, but we usually don't speak about it or, talk about it.
Mhm.
Because what you find is that we call it the H bomb. Once you drop the H bomb,
The H bomb.
people's insecurities come out.
Mhm.
I never expected that,
On
but we
both
we
on
talk
both
about that.
sides of the color line, probably, huh?
Yes, and it's like, "What?" I mean, I remember when I had a license plate and somebody was like, "Well, this is a white guy, you know, I mean, I'm not as smart as you." And I'm like, in my mind, like, am does he want me to comment?
Right.
Like,
I don't.
or
What
if
you
I
want me to
had a
say to
shirt
that?
on yeah, or if I had a shirt on, "Oh, who went there?" I'm like,
I'm not
Yeah,
wearing a shirt for nothing. I mean, how
yeah.
many black people you walk around seeing wearing a Harvard shirt for real? So that must indicate something. I mean, we ain't just you don't see Harvard shirts in the Goodwill thrift store. So I didn't just buy this from I didn't go online to harvard.com and order a shirt from them just because I like their colors.
And so that's what so that is another thing, but the one thing that I will say, no matter, if you go on to graduate school, is one thing I will always rep is my HBC Spelman. You gonna see you go into my closet, what's represented no matter what, it's my Spelman.
For
I'm gonna
sure.
be represented Spelman no matter what.
Yes, for sure. That's I mean, I just it's interesting, it's definitely interesting to me. I know a few people who have taken some of those paths that have gone to, PWIs as well, and even to some of the Ivy League schools after, going to an HBCU. But that's a very interesting pathway of more. And to me, it's even to me, it kind of spells out even more reason why you're on the path that you're on with helping people because you've seen it from both sides of the fence. You've seen it from the top, the bottom, left, and right. From every angle. With you being of mixed race yourself, you also have the ability to look at it through a different lens than most black people or white people would look at it. So you're looking at it from a global perspective, um, while keeping your African American roots close to heart, and still representing in that space. Like you said, represent Spelman on Harvard campus. You know,
That's right. I mean, and people just have to know, like, it to me too, what I love about my company and then just in this being in this space is I just want people to know, especially young people, that you could do anything that you want. You just have to believe it.